Beyond Skin Deep, Generative Co-Design for Aesthetic Prosthetics. There is a trend for handcrafting bespoke prostheses that embody their wearers' aesthetic tastes and identities. Here we see some bespoke designs by Sophie de Oliveira Barata from the Alternative Limb Project. However, the cost of engaging an artisan designer lies beyond the means of many. Generative algorithms have previously been applied to create aesthetic designs for a variety of products. Here we see how each algorithm embodies a unique aesthetic style. We have explored the application of generative design to personalizing prostheses. We began by creating a generative algorithm called MoGrow so that we could experiment. We were inspired by natural forms such as rock formations that have been sculpted by wind and water and that exhibit a rich and organic visual complexity. MoGrow implements a particle spring system. It begins with a closed particle spring chain. Injecting particles into the chain via nozzles leads to wrinkling, whereas shrinking removes particles from the chain and leads to smoothing. Increasing the friction between particles leads to more compact wrinkling close to the nozzles. In short, varying injecting, shrinking, and friction in real time creates dynamic, complex, and unpredictable wrinkling effect that defines MoGrow's aesthetic style. The second aspect of MoGrow involves stacking freeze frames. The algorithm periodically freezes the state of the closed chain, vertically stacking the results as a series of slices to gradually grow a 3D form from the ground up. The user's interactions now sculpt a growing 3D form. A key challenge was to enable people to control MoGrow in a suitably expressive and aesthetic way. We were inspired to explore the idea of interacting by dancing, and so recruited professional disabled dancers into our team. We used a Rococo smart suit to capture their dancing movements. This employs inertial tracking and provides up to 17 tracking points distributed over the body. We experimented with different ways of controlling MoGrow by dancing. Our dancing mode applies the principle of alignment from dance research. Raising the right shoulder higher than the left triggers injection. Raising the left higher than the right triggers shrinking. And the greater the angle, the greater the rate. While moving the whole body faster decreases friction. Here we see professional dancer W getting familiar with interacting with MoGrow in dancing mode. Here is part of a later dance sequence in which W generates an aesthetic seed. And here we see professional dancer T getting familiar with dancing mode. And here is part of a later dance sequence in which T generates an aesthetic seed. Aesthetic seeds, therefore, capture unique and memorable moments of dance. Our leg sculpting algorithm applies an aesthetic seed to a model of a human limb to create a prosthetic cover called a greave. This involves selecting a segment from a suitable model of a leg, then scaling and lofting the contours of the aesthetic seed to fit, and then connecting the result to other structural elements of the prostheses to show a design for the whole thing. Here is an example design rendered using blue PETG. And here is an example design rendered using wood-filled PLA. An example design rendered using black PLA. And this is an example design rendered using transparent PETG. Our third algorithm optimizes the final design so that it can be efficiently 3D printed. Overhanging elements that exceed a 55% degree threshold would require supporting structures to also be printed. We systematically reduce these while trying to avoid compromising the design aesthetic. The optimized design shown here without the supporting structures saves 36.5% of printing time and 32.4% of materials compared to the original design.